Hello everyone. Gonna do a 15 plus 10 right now. Mrs. is away tonight, so I might make you a bunch of other videos. Okay, look at me, I'm 1508. So I've dropped 100 points in the last couple of days. Just by being a knobhead and blundering, really. Hey, we're gonna go Vienna and see what happens. Okay. Alright, so we'll try the Vienna Gambit. 1467, I tend to find that like 100 points higher than this, people tend to know to play d5 and whatever. Okay, so here we go. So this is now, it's kind of like the Halloween line. I think I call it the Halloween line. Because if the knight now takes, we then occupy the centre with d4, hitting the knight again. So we're all equal materially, but I've got this nice pawn centre, right? And I've got tempo against this knight. Wherever this knight goes, I play e5, and now I've got tempo against this knight. And this is similar to the Halloween Gambit, but in the Halloween Gambit, you actually give up a full piece. You actually give up a knight to get this kind of level of rolling initiative. So this is a relatively comfortable line, but wait any second because I'm about to cock it up in magnificent manner. I think all the games that I've been playing so far, yeah, I tend to get good positions and then just blunder a rook or something ridiculous. Okay, so we have Queen e7. So in the standard Vienna Gambit accepted, and they play Queen e7, you play Queen e2 and reinstate the attack on the knight, because as things stand right now, this pawn is pinned by the queen. Absolute pin, I cannot legally take the knight because I'll be putting myself in check, and that's against the law. Okay, so queen here would break it, bishop there would also break it, or even knight, but if I play queen here, what's he going to do? He can't go there because I'll take him, he can't go there because I'll take him, he can't go there because I'll take him, and he can't go there because I'll take him. Okay, sold. See, stop thinking. Hang on, if you take that pawn, I take the knight. The queens are facing off. You take my queen, it doesn't come with check. I take your queen, I'm attacking the bishop. I don't know. That actually might be alright. But I've got a feeling like that was inaccurate because I've just left that pawn dangling. Could have even done that, actually. And had two pawns looking at two knights. That might have been a thought, but... Okay, you take pawn, I take knight, I'm +2. You take queen, I take queen, I'm +2. You take knight, for example, or bishop, I take bishop. I'm +2. And I've got a queen there, and you have to move your king or your rook to delete it. It's a thought. I've also got a fly in my office as well. And I normally keep my badminton racket handy. A cheaper badminton racket, because they are awesome at swatting flies out of the sky. And fracas sautant. Okay, I think we've already established this is good. If he takes here, I just take with the queen. Okay, so I'm actually +2 right now. Now if he trades queens, happy days, because I just take... Hang on. If he takes the queen... do I have to take with the king now? Hang on. I've got 4 options. C knight, G knight, bishop, king, right? Now, if I take with any of these minor pieces, my opponent is going to play this move with a fork and win my rook. Now, I may then be able to prevent his escape. I'm in check now, so let's have a think. I'm going to lose castling rights if I take with any of the minor pieces. Right, and it's not going to be that one because it's already out on the board. Right, let's say I take with the knight or the bishop. Right, he does this. I have to move the king. King's going to go there anyway. So do I want to get the queen with that, but probably not, because then I'm in the way, definitely in the way of the bishop. So I'll take with APs. He does this. I move the king, say, here, where it's not in the way of this bishop. So let's say like bishop takes, you take there, I go here. The knight then has no escape after he captures the rook. So I think I'm going to take with the bishop. Here I play king d1. You get that and I'm going to come after you. Right, so this is not great. I really buggered that up, didn't I? Now I have this. I might be able to return the favour. So what does he do? He plays bishop d6, but then I take here and attack his rook. Oh, what a mess. See, this is just what I've been doing. When you're not really on your game, you're only playing a partial, and you're doing part of the thinking that needs to be done to make a move. You miss out things like, well, what could my opponent do if I do this? And you look at this. I mean, I spent no time whatsoever on my first few moves, and now I've just had to spend 2 minutes on 2 moves. He comes here, I simply do that, and I win that back. And then I'm actually slightly in front as well. Okay, so I think now what we do is we take this pawn. It is going to activate his bishop, but that doesn't really help him in the trap knight stakes. Letting him take here, then I take back, might even be slightly preferable actually. So I just feel like I need to develop now. I need to get that knight out on the board. An absolute Wally Hunty. And you're not helping. So I'm -4 right now. Okay. But I can take back here, and this is nice because it prevents his rook from coming in there, it prevents his king from coming in there. I do actually expect his bishop now to burst out of hiding. But then this, something like this is not bad, because the bishop can't take. I take with a fork on king and rook. So I like this move anyway. Also, so he's got 2 isolated pawns and he's got a set of 4, okay? I've got 2 pairs. What this means is that the middle of the board, for me, is very much open. Whereas he has 1, 2, 3 pawns on these central 4 files, yeah? So here I'm just threatening to take for free, like I have a free pawn. King has to come here or here. But I can still have the pawn for free. If you take the bishop, I take here, and then I'm attacking here as well. So the trick now, I mean, I might kind of edge my king over and try and win back this knight and equalise material. I really want to activate this rook, but look how active my pieces are. They're in the middle of the board. This rook isn't. Everything is sucked to the edges in black for black. So what I've got to do now is I've got to open things up. I'm inclined to play that, because ain't no, or do I just take him out? Just take out the bishop. That leaves me with the only bishop. I'm sorely tempted. Yeah. He comes here. I can now spin round, say to here, and attack the pawn. Also, just opening up the d file, potentially. I think my king's going to come to c1, b1. Definitely. And I don't know how black can actually prevent that. He's still +3, but I am threatening this pawn. Now, he might push the pawn, or he might play rook e8. He pushes pawn. Okay. I could come here and just entice the pawn to take it yet another step forward. I'd love to go to that square, but 1, 2, 3 jumps. Yeah, this one comes with check, doesn't it? It's worth a thought. I can always defend the knight with the bishop. Whoa, tactical bloody bun fight. Wasn't expecting this. I thought I would do a nice... Or do we just do this and... Yeah, let's do this. And again, it's threats, you know. I just want to build threats. I want to create danger. Landmines, my opponent to always have to bear in mind. You don't want to keep things simple when it's a sharp position like this. It's gone dark all of a sudden. Okay, so now we just creep over. I like the fact as well I've now put my king behind this wall of pawns, so there's no temptation to give check with a rook and any of that nonsense. If he attacks the bishop, I just drop back to h3. I also have a check if I need it. If I check with a rook, there we go. Bishop also defends g2. So let's say check here. He can't go there, there, there. Can't go there. That leaves him 3 options. But I am going to come over here and I am going to win that knight. His best bet is probably to actually play knight b3, force me to take with the a pawn and end up with doubled isolated pawns. Because right now, I've got a minority here. It's a 3 on 2. But with a piece majority, let's say I have a rook, a bishop. Hello. All right then. Calm down. I want that square, don't I? So let's go here, attack the pawn. Here, attack the king and threaten to come in here. Or just blunder. You see? That's what I've been doing. That's just what I've been doing. For all this time. Okay. Let's try and do one properly. 13... Shit, I'm at 14.99 now. 14.99, mate. My opponent may abort this one. And it shows you that chess.com is going, this guy is really on a tilt, man. Because let's give him a 13.40. See if he can beat anyone. Okay, he's oh no, he's come out. All right. Okay, quality. Okay, normal Freddy Krueger repertoire. Let's get an Italian. Oh, El Scotcherino. The Steinitz variation. Okay. All right, this is all right. We bring out the King's Knight. And we've got 2 attackers on this pawn. This knight comes out, then the move is bishop b4, pinning the knight. Good. The key move here for white is knight b5, threatening the fork. That means your king has to move, pretty much. Unless you're in a position like if they've played this and your bishop's out here, and then they play this, you can actually drop your bishop back to a5, thereby defending the c7 pawn. Does that make sense? So let's see, he plays knight here. Bishop comes here with a pin. He comes in here eyeing up this, and your bishop just drops back to this square. Okay, well, that's one way of doing it. Okay, he is defending the pawn, I guess. This is interesting. I have knight here hitting the queen. The queen needs to defend this. This is now defended twice, attacked twice. If I play bishop b4, he's got c3 with tempo. I could come here and just put a second attacker on this knight. Then if he takes me, I'll take back. I'm ready to castle. Interesting move, though. What else have we got? We've got this, with the threat of coming in there. Is that any good? What does he do? He plays g3. Yes, I think this is the route. This is the way I'm going to play it. 4 pieces out on the board. Some frets going on. But right now, the main thing is not there. The main thing is this. Okay. All right, I can slide over here. You're always treading dangerously, living dangerously when you've got your queen out on the board like this. But the danger can go both ways. You know? If I come here, I'm maybe walking into discoveries like this. You might want to take out my bishop. I don't really want to encourage that. I could just drop back to here. Could drop back to... I kind of fancy the light squares. Either way, he's got this. But either way, I can just stick my queen back in there. I don't have these. I can drop back to G6 is alright. If he pushes the pawn, we trade queens, maybe. I'm still threatening this now. This is also the thing. He does this, I might just drop back. But he really, positionally, he wants to put his bishop there. If he's going to castle short. Okay, he's done this. Okay, I'm dropping back to G6. That sanity check thing, that thing where you go, I think, just check in, just yes, right? Even in 5-minute blitz, doing that, I mean, I've said it for literally years on this channel. The sanity check. Okay, we take away from the center in this case. Okay. I think he just blinked then. I don't really... What was the point of that? He's got a knight in the center of the board. Yes, it's double attack, but C3. Right? C3. I take... C takes D4. He's got 2 central pawns. This... And now, look, you know, my bishop's opened up. I can drop my bishop in there, prevent him from... Well, I can't do it now. But I can do this anyway. Then I can bring my rook in here. What have we got? 2 attackers on here. I would like to castle. The question is, do I want to castle on this move or a later one? And I suspect later. I also have ideas like this. This is kind of sneakier. With the idea of castles, get my rook on d8 and then drop this in with a dual attack on the queen and the rook. If he does this, I just trade off. Okay, he momentarily disconnected there. My bishop might want to drop back to b6 at some point. This pawn is pinned. Note. But I don't like white's position. If it switch the board here, white's position's kind of ugly, isn't it? This is, you know, he's definitely feeling a stiff breeze through these light squares. And he's plonked his bishop there just to push my queen away. Well done. And now your bishop's kind of misplaced, I would say. So you can see the danger here is I castle, get my rook on there, and then this. Okay, this is what... This is not a great surprise, but that just... I'm thinking centralise. If takes, takes, yeah? Unless there's something better. Try and get into the habit of trying to find something better. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And then long castles, and we're pretty good. And I've got, you know, this spare bodyguard around my king there, you know, in the shape of Charlie 2. This is not in your favour. It really isn't opening up the H-file for my rook. Okay. Do I have this? Prevents that because you lose your queen. Also putting 2 attackers on the knight. Also then maybe lining up something here. You take here, queen c4. Our queen comes along. Ooh, no, it doesn't. So, equal material. We've each lost a pawn and a knight. You see, I said it might be nice to drop my bishop. I could have also just done that. Okay. Well, the knight is still pinned. This is the material point. And I'm very just tempted to do that. And normally I would just snatch at that move. So what's the idea? Maybe come to here with... I don't know. But I want to put my king there anyway, so it's really not too difficult. You can't move the knight because, well, yeah, technically you've got, okay. There we go. So he's, you know, he's moved the queen away. He spotted the threat. Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. I'm going to drop my bishop back here, like I said I was going to. 2 attackers, 2 defenders. So panic over. Jamie was observing the last game. Got 8 out of 10 guesses. I bet you didn't guess my last move. Yeah, Mr. Hunt's patented blunder. This pawn is still risky now. Dropping the bishop in there. I've only got 2 safe squares. And this one walks into that, and so I'm kind of inclined to drop back. Yeah. You can't push... Well, you can actually. You can. I like the fact I've got my rook on the open file. This knight is no longer pinned and might want to go about his day in some direction. So I was just looking at f6 anyway here. f6, pawn takes, pawn takes. Oh, bishop takes. He's got quite good eyes on that. Takes. Bishop takes knight. I take bishop hitting the queen. Right, let's think this through, shall we? Let's see if we can do a slightly better job than last time. See, issue with f6 is he's got 1, 2, 3 attackers. And I only have 1, 2 defenders. So if I do this, pawn takes, bishop takes, I mean, it's not terribly bad because we are removing pawnage on the like F and G files where his king is, but I'm thinking this might be better because what we're doing now is we're removing the defender of the bishop. Okay, so I take there. If he recaptures, bang, he's lost the piece. So he's not going to do that. So here, can he take there? Well, no, because I can take a second minor piece and up the ante by attacking the queen. If he takes here, I'll just take the bishop. He's lost the whole piece. If he takes here, right, we're now equal, but I take here attacking the queen. We're now equal. Okay, we're equal. This isn't too bad. Okay. So he didn't win anything there. Here, I'm threatening a pawn. Not really threatening this. Or just that. How does he defend the bishop? This is the skewer, right? There, he can't go there because pawn takes. He can't go there because pawn takes. So just that. The easiest way to improve is just to practice, like, visual. You see how you could see the point at which my thinking ran out. It didn't run out. It was simply Um, I gave up. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we're attacking the bishop and skewering the pawn behind, skewering the bishop onto the pawn. The bishop cannot move and defend the pawn. That's the first thing you would look for. I also have a fork here. Okay, this is counterattack. So I take bishop, you take bishop, I take pawn, or I just move out the bloody way. You just move out the bloody way. Just move out the bloody way. Also now I'm targeting quite a useful square. I always want to think about having eyes on these two squares, because that's very often, particularly the D file, because the D file is completely open. So he'd love to put a rook on here at some point. So it's always nice to have a bishop in particular looking at these squares. But my bishop's looking at the slightly wrong one. Having said that, you quite often want to put a rook behind an advancing pawn as well. So there you go. You've still got the same problem. Just a very pragmatic move there. Now he's got b4, but that didn't do anything because I just take it. And then I can even just drop my bishop back and... Okay, I take bishop, you take bishop. We are equal. I take pawn. But then he's threatening to take here. Okay. This then. b6 takes. And I've still got a pawn looking here and I've still got a pawn looking here, right? b6 takes then. Takes, because otherwise he goes here. If I go b6 takes, c takes, I've got no c pawn, then he escapes with that. So it has to be a takes b6. Giving me kind of clunky... Oh! Ah, damn it, Janet. Well, in that case, we just got to cash in, haven't we? There's nothing for it. And I think after pawn takes, I push. Yeah, I think I push. Just need to maintain as much solidity around here as I can. And in fact, if I can, a6, king b7 actually uses his pawns then as human shields. You cannot burst through your own pawns. Knights can jump over them, but no piece can get through them. This is the point. Okay, we're also looking at another pawn here. The opponents did all right there. But it's all this tactical stuff. But even if he does push a6, okay, so he's defending his pawn. I'm going to push this without a moment's doubt, really. Okay, now let's take stock, because that pawn move was quite significant. So he's built up this giant pawn chain. Okay, defended, let's goldfish. The goldfish method. Pretending that we are seeing this position for the first time because we've got a memory of 7 seconds. Not really true. Goldfish have got probably the same memory as other fish. Okay, so everything's defended. Queen defends this and this, right? Everything's kind of defended in Black's camp. However, he's got doubled isolated A pawns and he's got an isolated C pawn. These are the weaknesses we should probably try to exploit. I'm inclined to put my rooks on D8 and D7 and stake my claim to the D file. I don't have to rush to put my king there. Yeah, currently this pawn is defended only by my queen. But I'm thinking that claiming ownership of that file is going to be critical here. I have, okay, it'd be nice if I had checks as well, but I'm thinking h5, h4 attacking this weak pawn which is pinned might be an idea. But I'm thinking this right now. Now he's got a problem because I'm actually threatening to take his rook outright. Rook takes, rook takes. Okay, so we take back. This isn't a threat. I might want to stick my queen behind enemy lines at some point. But I'm kind of liking h5, h4, right? He's somewhat overextended here. And this pawn is in an absolute pin. It cannot capture to either side because it would put the king in check, and you can't do that. So that's a slightly baffling move. Okay, let's have a think. Here, I do then have a check on there. Oh yeah, well, hang on. He's just undefended this pawn and this pawn. I don't see anything. I'm going to play h5. If I take queen takes, queen's looking at this pawn. If I push, he takes, I take, queen comes here. I just drop back. Push. If I take and queen takes, okay, that's a check anyway. And now this pawn is vulnerable. Yeah, other pawn takes back. That's fine. Okay. That's a thought. It's all a bit equal though for my liking. These pawns are still definitely weaknesses. So do I need to get my queen into his position now? Even just this. Rook takes, queen takes actually. Quite like that. Puts my queen in a commanding position over the d file. And then I'm threatened to come in here. You know, yes, his queen currently defends that, but I get within striking distance of this square. There's a nice queen fork. I don't think it's going to be very hard for him to defend all of this stuff with one piece, with a queen. Particularly if I can prevent his king from crossing this line. Okay, I'm going to take the queen. So now this is my threat. Okay, nearly just played it without thinking. Generally not advisable. But it's got to be good. I think also g6 just to prevent his queen from using this diagonal, if that's his plan. I think actually in a fair fight from this position, if we can get the queens off the board, I think I am better. The queen's defending two of these pawns, but not this guy. But that's a tricky one to get. Okay. Let's keep checking him. Problem is I have to eliminate that pawn. Now, do I take and king takes and then I come in? I think that might be good. If he takes, I take here. No, I just improve my king. I improve my king. If queen takes, I have king takes. This is going to be vital. Activating the king, centralizing the king, and now that pawn is at my mercy. And then this c pawn, okay, this comes with check, and he can't come here. Right. Do I push f5? I push f5. Maybe he needed to retreat then. I don't know. The king kind of needs to come back. The problem is now this pawn is blocked and this pawn can't move because I take. He's got to put his king back there, then push, take there. It's still not straightforward because the thing is I've got no breaks on this side. The only way I'm going to release this pawn majority is by eliminating this. And there's no way he's going to move that pawn unless I can force him to do it. Because he can't move either of these. He can't move this one. There are only three things he can do. Suicide, there. Okay, not going to happen. This, which case I take, he takes, I move across. And we're going to find ourselves in a kind of a zugzwang thing. And now we have to take off our socks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I get a queen. 8 moves. With me to move. Okay. I come here, takes. Okay, so let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 moves. This is the problem. This is the problem, but now I'm in zugzwang. I actually don't want to move. I can't move my king here or here because he'd be in check. If I move my pawn, he takes, and same problem. So I think this is actually a losing position for black. Because you can't defend a pair of connected pawns and a king. I have to take there. There's nothing else for it. Okay, he's moving his king right in front of his pawns, but he has taken opposition. 1, he comes here. Okay, I might have to let him promote first. And his promotion notice does not come with check. But can he then fork my king and my... No, he goes there, I go here. He goes there, I go here. We both have a queen. But I've got more pawns than you've got. These endgames are fascinating. But I find them super challenging too. Okay, we both have a queen. Woo! Okay. And now I defend my pawn. No, I don't have more pawns than you at all. It's perfectly equal. However, I do have better pawns because I've got 3 pawns on 3 adjacent files. Yours, however, are isolationalized. I can even threaten to take that one with check, which would put me in a good position. All he can do, I think, is just keep checking me. But then here, and what have you got? You've got there. I block with my pawn. You go here. I could block with the queen. If I block with the queen... Oh! That forces the queens off because it also comes with check. But then I'm a bit worried about this passed f pawn. Let's calculate it. There. Takes. His king is in front of his pawn. That is good. I might have to go for the draw here. I think if queen here, queen takes, he moves to this side and I'm buggered because my king can't go on any of these squares. And he moves down to here and yeah, I'm absolutely screwed in that case. So that can't happen. Therefore, I'm going to do this. Ouch. He's going to have to try and hope that he blunders in some way. But I think he can just keep checking now. But keeping checking is okay. Yeah, sometimes it just seems like you win games in 2 minutes flat and make people resign in anguish. And other times you make a 1341 look like Kasparov. Of course I'm joking. But it is really, really weird how you can seem to make weaker players look better just by playing the third or the fourth or the fifth best move consistently. And that's when you get the lower, the lower percentages of accuracy. I mean, I might have had a dozen opportunities to win this game and missed them. I'm going to offer him a draw. He has to keep checking me because these pawns are too vulnerable. There's so many lines that I could fork these pawns. I mean, it's annoying that he's done that. Okay. Well, I have a straightforward check here. Queen actually defends all of his pawns in this position. He's doing all right though. He's doing a job. Okay, queen can't block. I have many open lines now. The last pawn move was move 55. So I think if you have 50 moves without a capture or a pawn move, then it's an automatic draw. That could make for an extremely dull video. Here again, queen can't block because she gets taken. Here again, queen can't block. But he has got everything tied together. The queen, however, is not defended. But there's no way I can actually skewer the king. Unless the king goes here and my queen goes here. That's I think, is the only squares on the board where we could get that. Okay, here again. Same deal. I think repetition is our only friend here. But hats off to SG Babu 1956. Boy, done a good job. Now I have to retire and lick my wounds. Maybe I should have tried harder to remove one of his pawns on this side to assure a better endgame position, because these two connected pawns that he had were just too dangerous. Okay, again, queen can't block. Can I fork? No, I can't, because as soon as the king moves. I mean, I've got this, I've got this. Let's go there again, queen can't block. wherever he goes, I think I'm going to have a check on one of these squares. Okay. Again, queen can't block. Again, queen can't block. Oh, she can block here. But then I have check there. And that wins this pawn. Got this. She can block there. I come back there. He's going to have to accept the fact that this, I think I can force a draw now. This pawn's too central to keep my queen from like zipping around with more checks, I think. Queen can't block. That's my only concern. But even if she could, you know. Okay, here she blocks. I think it's my only check anyway, isn't it? Blocks there. I come back here, just keep annoying him really. Now the only other thing as well is if the queen can move to a square and block a check and give check. That is my concern. Okay, now I think he may be out of checks because he's got two pieces to hide behind. Now I need to prevent him from forcing the queens off the board with a fork. That one's undefended. I'd love to go there, but I can't. So I think it needs to be here. Now he has two checks. Yeah, I think that was the key, getting the king and queen adjacent. Okay, I'll be a bit careful now. Oh, he can snatch another pawn there, can't he? Right then. His king actually only has one square it can go to right now. Queen blocks, I go here with check. Threatening this pawn, so queen has to go here. And I just go back. So that was a capture on move 69. Again. You see this, and he does this, and we both queens are actually pinned. So we can't have that. This maybe. Ah, did it. He's done it. He's done it. Oh, very well played in the ending there. Okay, but we're going to have a look at the game review on that one. So again, I felt like I just lacked something. He played 80 accuracy. So here, now here he's winning. Wow. Okay, so that he had a blunder. Okay, I took there. But that wasn't best. There was a better move. Skewering queen and rook. Okay. But my biggest mistake, I actually then got back to equity. That was a blunder. That was a mistake. Okay, I should have burned a move there. And then back here, we're actually completely equal. Lots of great moves. But that wasn't best because he can now get into this position. Okay, so instead of this one, did I have an alternative? Don't know, tricky one. But hats off to my opponent, you know. He played like a 1600, and he did, and just outdid me in the end game. So well done. All good fun. Hope it was useful. Hope it was interesting. Thanks for watching. See you later.